Behold, RPGs and Baby Makes 3.
RPGs and Baby Makes 3 Reimagined.
RPGs and Baby Makes 3 Reimagined. We're back.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of?
Yeah. You know, Chuck E. Cheese as an adult parent is way more different than it was when I was a kid.
It's horrible, dude.
It's awful. I'm
Was
exhausted.
everything broken when we were kids, too?
I don't know.
I wonder if everything was broken when we were kids and we just ignored it and just went on to the next thing. I mostly played skee-ball
Yeah.
and went in the ball pit when I was a kid.
But even skee-ball, like, I don't remember skee-ball having that many problems when I was younger, but I feel like it's always messed up at Chuck E. Cheese. Like, one of the sections had, I don't know, 10, 15 balls stuck, and then all of the other machines were missing some balls. So thankfully it would rotate the balls and bring them back and you could throw them, but, like...
Yeah, that is the jankiest Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, so Savannah Chuck E. Cheese, rolled a 1.
I missed the animatronics.
Well, her child was still terrified of Chuck E. Cheese, so still works.
All right, well, let's roll for initiative. So, beyond our Chuck E. Cheese things, gaming? Have you done any gaming since last time we recorded a podcast that you can think of?
If imagining my life without copious amounts of work is a game, then yes, I've done quite a bit of it.
You've been doing quite a bit of the game of life.
Yeah. I have about 6 people in my car now, I think. And they're all in my head. Fighting. You have.
I have. I've been doing the Temple of Elemental Evil game, which of course we stream on our YouTube page, which you should like and subscribe to.
Yes.
And also leave reviews, 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
That's another thing we should be saying.
So, but our listeners might be like our son and not listen to you.
I don't ever try to really make anybody listen to this thing. Yeah, but I've been doing Temple of Elemental Evil. That's been fun. I mean, I think we've played 14 sessions now. One of them was considered session like half or 0.5. That was the first one. Then the last session we did a side quest, so we sort of called it session, instead of 13, we called it session 12.5. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. But point is that we've been doing that, and then
Rob is getting into the
I've been
weeds
playing
here.
in 3 games here. So Temple of Elemental Evil, which is the first edition module, but we've been playing with second edition characters. The AD&D second edition game called Krakenheim, where we're like ice barbarians out of, I don't know, we're basically like Vikings. Myself and Andre playing in this guy Chris's game. It's a 2-person game, so it's the two of us. I'm a fighter thief, and he is a wizard, Andre. And that's fun. It's a fish out of water sort of thing. Our characters are... I had like never left the village in this ice barbarian thing. We're going through adventures. So we've been doing that. And then in the Boughs of the Spider Queen, I guess is what it's called, or something like that. Aaron Sturgill's Trail of Dice Games, I believe is what it is. Aaron Sturgill, I know, is the designer. It's a one-on-one RPG that I've been doing as well, and I've been running it with a Greek theme. So it's like all Greek myths and stuff like that. So I've been doing some gaming, yeah, but I mean, this isn't like I've been like gaming every day. It's just we haven't recorded a podcast like 5-6 weeks, and
Yeah.
so
But
I played each.
I feel like I haven't stopped working
No.
for 6 weeks.
No, but we're actually getting ready to do a new game with some new people, which will be fun. Some people who don't really necessarily play.
Yeah.
Get some fresh perspectives, I guess. I don't know what you call it.
Super fresh perspective.
Super Fresh. I worked at a place called Super Fresh when I was a kid.
I remember Super Fresh.
Grocery store chain.
Yeah, I forgot about Super
It
Fresh.
was owned. It was like a rebranding. It was owned by A&P, which was like the old timey grocery store. But it was like their new Super Fresh, their new brand.
Not just fresh, super fresh.
So I worked at that one. I worked at one of those when I was a kid. I worked in produce.
Yeah,
I actually started at the grocery, the Checker, and then moved to the produce. I always liked working at produce.
Yeah, you said you would eat very well.
I ate a lot of vegetables. I had a salad like every day for lunch back then.
And now that you're older and you need that salad every day, you don't eat it.
I still like salads. I'm kind of a salad guy.
Sounds good. It's really easy to go unhealthy with a salad.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
especially if you like to throw on a mountain of croutons.
Croutons, the best part of a salad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been doing that gaming, and we're going to do this new group, and we're kind of discussing now, like, what we might want to play, and there's a lot of options out there. Might be Blades in the Dark, might be Aegon, might be...
Scout's Guide to the Apocalypse.
We'll probably do a one-off on that one.
That was fun.
It's actually called Scout's Survival or Junior Braves Survival Guide to the Apocalypse.
I just watched Scout's Guide to the Apocalypse, or
which is
like
a movie.
Which is a great
A
zombie
good
movie.
movie. I think it's based on...
Oh my god, there is a scene hanging out a window with something to grab onto, and it is so disturbing. If I'm remembering the scene
I feel
correctly.
like I've seen that movie.
You have?
Yeah, we saw that together.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but it was originally a graphic novel, and it was made into a movie and an RPG. The RPG uses the rule set from Kids on Bikes, which is kind of a famous rule set. It's a very simple game, but we might play that as well. But yeah, I've been doing some of that gaming there. Some of that there gaming.
What?
What?
Some of that there gaming?
Yeah, I've been doing some gaming.
You could game too.
I could game. Yeah.
I heard that on a show recently.
I could?
Yeah, could. I had to go back and rewind it. I think it might have been Big Sky.
You know, this is all very interesting, but it's not nearly as interesting as our main topic.
That's right, our main topic.
Let's get to our main topic.
Oh, yeah.
This is it. Please let me know.
Dungeons and Dragons. The
The
original
movies.
trilogy.
Yeah, so we subjected ourselves to all 3 of the original D&D movies.
So that you don't have to be honest with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so I brought up the synopsis for the first one. I'm going to read the synopsis for the first one. In the kingdom of Izmir, wizards use their magic to rule the land. The young Empress Savina desires to use magic for good, but the evil Profion plans to utilize his powers to usurp the throne from Savina and subject the kingdom to totalitarian rule. Profion gains control of the kingdom's golden dragons, while Savina sets out to win control of the even more powerful red dragons, gaining the alliance of a motley group of individuals along the way. Okay, now, you just listen to the description of it. If you are a D&D player, what is wrong with that description of what is happening there? Is there something that you notice at all? Because you probably won't, but many D&D players will. Red dragons are the evil dragons, and gold dragons are the good ones.
Well, I thought in the movie the red dragons were evil.
No, the evil Profion takes the gold dragons.
Oh.
Jeremy Irons is got the gold dragons on his side. And the good princess gets the dang red dragon.
Look, I'm going to say there are a lot of things about this movie that are not based in fake reality.
I'm just saying it starts off before you even started watching the movie. It's got a major problem.
Yeah, well, I think one of the first things I said when the movie started was, I thought Jeremy Irons was a good actor.
Oh my god, he's so over the top, isn't he?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
So, this movie was made, I guess it came out in 2000
is
or
what
2001.
IMDb is saying here.
And it was a box office failure, of course. But it was the first big budget attempt. And I feel like the people who made this movie just didn't know anything about D&D.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
absolutely.
just like, it was just whatever. It was just really terrible.
Okay, I mean, there were a couple of things that really stood out.
Okay,
for
what
this
stood
movie
out
here.
to you? What stood out to
Okay,
you?
first of all, the bad guy, played by Bruce Payne.
Okay, yes. Who also turns up in the second
Damodar?
movie.
Damodar. Was he in the third one, too?
He was not in the third
He was not
movie.
in the third one. Okay, right. So he did some superb acting when Jeremy Irons' character was like putting the whatever it was in his head. And, you know, he's like
Oh, yes.
bulging. His veins are bulging in
What's
his
the
head.
name of his character?
Damodar?
Okay, so Damodar is the same character in the other movie. It's the same guy.
So, and then he's turning red, and, you know,
He has blue lips.
Oh, God, the blue lips. That is something amazing.
I don't know why they gave him blue lipstick as the villain of this. He's not the villain. He's like he's forced to be evil, kind of. He gets like the thing in his brain. He's just like, I have to do this or I'm gonna die. There's like that one scene.
Yeah, that was
really
pretty-
bad
that was
scene.
awful. And the other thing that stood out was the elf. I don't even know her name here, but Kristen Wilson with Norda. The only way I could really describe it would be boob dupers.
Yeah, you described the boob dupers over and over again.
Her breastplate. First of all, her breasts on her breastplate
They're
are
enormous, dude. What is going on there?
Like you could not.
That would be front heavy. I mean, like if you were trying to fight stuff.
And breasts are not shaped that way. Also,
Yeah, like who designed those anyway?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure. Let me zoom in. Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God,
they
dude.
actually have nipples on them too.
Yeah, like, and those nipples are nowhere near where they would belong on the body at all. Like,
No, they're like the old bras in was it 40s or 50s that were like cone bras,
Oh yeah,
kind of, but silver.
yeah, yeah. That's special.
Yeah,
And plus, you get a Wayans brother in there, Marlon Wayans, who is about what you would expect.
and this dude, purple guy, I don't even know.
There was a purple guy whose race was ambiguous. But I mean, you know.
It was. I will never get that time back of my life.
Okay, so that was a horrible movie. Let's get into the second movie though, because what I think the first movie had going for it, which was a budget. Okay, the second and third movie, but the second movie in particular had no budget, but it knew D&D. It came out in 2005. Dungeons and Dragons: Wrath of the Dragon God. So, after stealing a magical orb, the sinister wizard Damodar uses his newfound power to terrorize the land. Melora, a beautiful young enchantress, joins forces with the skilled warrior Beric and other brave fighters to embark on a dangerous journey to defeat Damodar and his minions. As the heroes draw closer to Damodar, they must contend with dragons and other fierce beasts before they can put an end to the villain's scheme. So according to this, the budget on the second movie was $12 million. Okay, so like it did not have much of a budget,
Yeah.
but it was definitely meant to be like a third edition RPG version of the, I don't know, the Dungeons and Dragons lore. And it was crappy, but it was like, I could kind of tolerate it. It was better. It was better than the first
better.
movie.
One scene that we really liked is the like maze, the puzzle maze they had to do. I forget what they were going in there for, but you had to like look in the mirror to see how to get like the proper steps. I don't know.
Yeah, they
There
had
were
a few,
traps and
like
stuff.
Yeah, so like what I think what you're kind of describing is, without like getting into the specific details, but like it seemed to me like they knew a little bit of like what Dungeons and Dragons was, and there were like these little kind of clever moments that felt very much like you would have in a D&D game. Like, oh, you got to use the mirror, and you use the mirror's reflection to find the tiles on the ground that you can safely walk on that won't collapse under your feet. Like, that seems like a thing you would do in a Dungeons and Dragons game. And I think that that's what was where it was so much better than the original movie, in that at least it had some of that. Like, the budget was low. It was definitely like a crappy movie, like a cheap low budget movie. The special effects with all the magic and everything was like so funny. But at the same time, I don't really think it was, I don't know, it wasn't horrible. What do you think? Any other thoughts about the second movie?
I mean, I would watch it over the first one. I don't know. By the time that we finished the second one, I was thinking, oh my God, we have to watch another one. And I kind of put it off a little bit too.
We did. We put it off. Like, we were like, you parents out there, you have very limited amount of time. And to conceive of bringing out a movie
that you're probably not going to like,
want to watch, basically.
with the limited amount of time you have, where you're kidless.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, but we did it.
We did it. We won.
Yeah.
Did we win? No, we might have lost, actually.
The third one now, there were some things in it that I thought were, I don't know. So. Okay,
so Dungeons and Dragons 3, The Book of Vile Darkness. Okay. Came out in 2012. It came out 7 years after the previous one. I thought it was the best of the three.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, a noble warrior searches for his father, who has fallen into the clutches of a terrible monster. He becomes a member of an evil alliance to get closer to where his father is being held, but faces a struggle to maintain both his cover and his code of honor. So, the premise is a paladin joins up with a group of evil adventurers to find his father and rescue him.
Yeah.
I loved that concept. The bad guys were bad, too. Like, it was like an evil adventuring party.
Yeah, the necromancer kind of guy was so messed up.
Yeah, they were all pretty cheesy, though. I mean, like, they were all dark characters. They were not good. They were evil. They were definitely evil. And so, like, he was good, but the only way he could get close to the people who had taken his father were to join up with this.
Could a paladin actually get away with that, though? That's debatable.
I don't know that they would love that. I don't know, because he did some pretty bad stuff. During the... Because he was like the paladin of, like... I forget what the name of the god was, but it was like a paladin of, like, light or sun or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was very D&D. Like, that movie was so D&D. Like, in terms of... kind of everything that happened, like the way that they interacted with stuff was like very Dungeons and Dragons. It felt like an adaptation of the game. Maybe even more so than the newest movie that just came out, which took some fanciful leaps and had a lot more budget, so it had to do something that, like, you could, all kinds of shape changing and magic and all this stuff. Well, this third D&D movie had to do what it had to do with its low budget, and so it kind of came off as more like grittier, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And it was only an hour and a half long, so it went by quickly.
Sorry, there's nudity.
There was nudity.
That caught me off guard.
I was very surprised.
It's like, is that what?
Yeah, like all of a sudden, it was like, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
it was definitely R-rated.
Yeah.
I mean, the Book of Vile Darkness is a supplement in D&D, and it's definitely like the darkest, evilest stuff.
And the creepy girl, dead girl, undead child.
Yeah,
That was actually kind of like, eh.
I kind of recommend people watch the third movie, but it's also really hard to get. Like, it's not available on any streaming services, so you have to like buy an expensive copy of the DVD. We managed to get a hold of a copy from a friend, but like, I don't know if it's something that's really easily accessible, but that'd be the only one I would recommend that people actually watch.
Yeah, one thing about it did drive me crazy, though, is, so you start off with this, as we would say to Lincoln, bad butt woman who is ready to take on anybody who messes with her. And yet she suddenly turns into, like, a damsel in distress. Often. Like, she needs to be saved by the paladin. Even though it's obvious she could, take care of herself. Like, I hate that that's the default. Let's go take care of the lady.
Well, things are way different than they were back in 2012, Gretch. 11 years ago.
Stop. It's right after we moved to Savannah.
I know, it's not even that long ago.
So long ago. But not.
Not long ago, though.
Not long ago, but so long ago. What?
Yeah, I mean, it's, I'm actually even surprised that movie got made. I mean, it's like, it came out in 2012. That was like, right before, it was like 4th edition. 5th edition hadn't been released yet. Like, it makes no sense to me that movie even exists, if I'm being honest.
And you were saying it was a sci-fi thing?
I think it was a straight to sci-fi channel.
Sci-fi used to have
video.
a lot of good stuff.
I don't know if it doesn't or now at all now because it's weird.
Does it exist anymore?
We don't have cable, so we don't really watch rando channels. Like,
Yeah,
we only do
true.
streaming stuff. So, but
So I would say 3, 2, 1. That's my
kind
order.
of the order. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I enjoyed the newest one the most, probably out of them
Yeah.
all. I think it's probably overall the best movie.
It had a great budget.
Yeah.
So they were
And it
able
looked
to do-
great. Great acting choices too.
I thought Hugh Grant was a little iffy. I thought he was the weakest link.
He was the weakest link in that.
It just seemed like a weird choice. Like, I understand they wanted to kind of get the skeezy thief kind of guy, but I just think that there are a world of other actors that would.
He was the weakest part of it. That was weird. Interesting.
Yeah, I like. Did he need to call in a favor for a role, or I don't even know. It just.
Interestingly, I read one of the prequel books for the movie, and I was reading it, and his character, I didn't feel like, even in the book, I didn't really feel like he was. It felt like a different character to me. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about.
I don't know. There were certain things that I liked in there. The illusion spell getting disrupted, and the guys slowly starts melting, and his voice is getting all crazy.
The way they did spells in the newest one was so great. I mean, I thought they did such a good job.
Yeah, that was fun.
But we're not here to talk about that. We were here to talk about those other movies. And we watched them so you didn't have to. But if you have watched them and you have an opinion, you can email us at rpgsandbabymakes3@gmail.com or just comment in the, YouTube that you liked and subscribed to.
Yeah, and don't worry, for all the mega fans out there, we, unfortunately, have the TV series on the docket as well.
Yes. Unfortunately, the cartoon was good, if I remember correctly. I mean, it's old now, though, so animation, what are you going to do?
Well, I did like the Easter egg in the new movie.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So I want to finish up this show with our last little segment here?
Sure.
All right, well, tell us what you think about those movies.
This is the end.
So, finishing up our episode, RPGs and Baby Makes 3 Reimagined. What you been reading, Gretch? We always talk about books.
Oh, man, I don't even know. I've been reading a lot.
I'm trying to think of what I've read since the last time we recorded a podcast. I finished reading Blades in the Dark, the RPG book for that game. I've been sitting down and reading RPG books, as we've kind of talked about before, and Blades in the Dark was one that was on my list, so I read that. I finished off the Fafford and the Grey Mouser books by Fritz Lieber. I've read book 7. That's done. They weren't very good. The last couple were not very good. I read Kitchen Confidential.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Anthony Bourdain book. That was really
you've
good.
really, really taken a liking to that.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Yeah, gosh, I don't know.
So one of the books that I've read is Wake of Vultures, and it's about this girl who, she's in Texas, and she is part First Nation, part Black, and all hated because of that. And she was kind of bought and sold a bit, and then she comes to find out that monsters exist, and it turns into her being a bad butt, which I really liked. And the thing that I really liked about this is I really enjoy when books play with dialect and accents and stuff, and this has a lot of, things like, I don't know, you would think Texan, Southern, which I really enjoy. So that was entertaining, and just kind of seeing how the different monsters would affect her, and then how her background was, she had no idea what her background was, but as the story continued, she of course finds it out, or sorts some of it out. I wanted to start the second one, and I did, but it just kind of started a little slow. Another book that I really enjoyed was Upgrade by Blake Crouch.
Is that the movie? Based on the same one as the movie?
What movie?
The movie Upgrade?
Oh. No, but that Upgrade movie is pretty amazing.
Yeah, so that's what
Wow.
the Upgrade movie is, the guy who gets like a computer in his brain or something like that.
Yeah. No, this is really fascinating. It's about hacking your genetics and your genome, and kind of quickly evolving through that process, and the way that it has affected the world that is present in the book, and the concerns for the future. And I don't know, I really liked it. I like Blake Crouch's stuff.
I've only read Dark Matter, which was a really good book, but
I don't know, I just like his stuff.
somebody else was telling me about enjoying Blake Crouch. I forget who it was.
It could have been me.
It wasn't you. Somebody else.
And I mean, otherwise, I've been reading some slightly raunchy fantasy books.
Oh, well, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I don't know. Kindle's like, you should read this. Okay, I don't care. Sure. But I tried to read Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, and I want to get back to it. So I mentioned how it kind of feels like a bunch of short stories, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Someone's reading these short stories until they come upon a short story about themselves. So I will get back to that.
What?
Yeah, which sounds really awesome.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm kind of brainless right now. I'm really tired and overworked. So if something, I feel like Upgrade was my smart book for a little while, because I just can't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do the math and the knowledge thing right now very good. I just make it go.
I actually get that. I get that as well. It's one of the things that I was enjoying about reading and I have enjoyed about reading the RPG books, is like I feel like I can just kind of pick them up and like read a little bit, and it's like, who cares? You know what I mean? It's not like I'm following the plot,
Yeah.
So like there's something about that when I'm just like totally burnt out, and I don't even have the effort, energy to follow the plot. I'm reading the collected works of Conan. I picked up the first book, and I've started doing that, and it's like, even that, I'm like, I can't. I have the energy to read like 3 pages at a time.
Yeah.
I read like literally. I'm not even kidding. Like I'll read like 3 pages, and my brain just doesn't want to do it right now.
And I get it. That's the thing about these sort of cheesy fantasy books, when I mean fantasy, like there's some mystic element to them. But then there's also sex. So I can easily breeze by stuff. Some of them are actually, the ideas behind them are actually pretty good. You just have to realize, like, they're saucy.
I mean, whatever, dude.
And I'm actually, I used to really frown upon that, but I'm kind of realizing it's a bit of a snob, because there are people out there who have some really interesting ideas, but with a twist. A body twist.
Well, I think that's the perfect note to end this episode on.
I'm surprised I'm even admitting that I'm reading these now. I'm to the point where I just don't care.
Oh, dude, we don't even care. We have kids. We're in
I
our
read
40s.
smart
It's like
books,
it's
too.
I don't even know if I do. Well, I did read Stephen Fry's Mythos. I just finished that as well. But I don't know. I guess I'll read some smart books every now and then. But whatever. I mean, I do look for escape in my books for the most part when I'm reading. Because it's like the world is a horrible place.
The world is a horrible place, and I'm constantly exhausted.
Yeah. Right.
And on that note, everybody, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, we'll be back soon, though. We have other things we want to talk about as well, but we wanted to do this
because we
D&D.
never shut up.
No, we don't, especially
Or at least
me.
one of us.
Like and subscribe. rpgsandbabymakes3@gmail.com. Anything else you want to say, Gretch?
No, I don't got it.
All right. Well, we will talk to you again soon. Thanks for tuning in, and happy gaming, y'all.
Take care, y'all.